Whenever you hear of someone speaking of comedy, you always hear two specific sayings, two specific phrases that they like to use. The first one is punching up, and the second is punching down. And I'm just here to say that that does not fucking exist. Neither of those exist. That's fucking stupid. Because comedy is subjective. Everybody gets a turn. Everyone gets made fun of. There are no exceptions. It does not matter what race you are, which gender you are. That's right, I said which because there's only two. It doesn't matter what race you are, which gender you are, what species you are. Hell, it doesn't matter your creed, your bloodline. It does not matter who or what you are or what you've done. Everyone gets a turn. If God himself, that's right, capital G, capital O, capital D, also known as the main man, the one and only, the presence, the one above all, the storyteller, the man behind the curtain, the king of kings, emperor of emperors, the one and most powerful God, the sentience at the center of the multiverse, the father of the omniverse, if that beautiful being does not get an exception, if that beautiful being gets made fun of too, what the hell makes you think you do? And one thing that never ceases to piss me off, one thing that never ceases to anger me to my core, is when dipshits try to lecture you on who you're quote-unquote allowed to make fun of. I have a very, very simple question. Who the fuck do you think you are? You don't get, no. Fuck no. You don't get to tell me who I can and can't make fun of. I don't give a fuck who the wider majority of society has agreed is morally okay to joke about. Everyone gets a turn. If you planted a camera in my house on a daily basis, you'd hear me make jokes about white women. You'd hear me make jokes about lesbians. You'd hear me make jokes about transvestites. You'd hear me make jokes about Asians. You'd hear me make jokes about cats. You'd hear me make jokes about God. Because everybody gets a turn. No one is exempt. There are no sacred lambs. There are no sacred cows. Everyone gets a turn. There are no exceptions. And you see people trying to refute that point on social media specifically, like a bunch of fucking transvestites. You always hear transvestites and people in the LGBT, QRS, TUV, WX, Y, and Z attention-seeking community trying to lecture you and say, you're not allowed to make jokes about trans people. Your jokes are literally killing trans people. You're oppressing us. No, I'm fucking not. The oppressed don't get to shit-talk their oppressors. If trans people were genuinely oppressed, every time they complain about how shittily they're treated, they'd just get their ass beat. They'd be fucking killed. True oppression can be found in Soviet Russia, decades ago, where if why am I saying Mao? Stalin. Dude, if Mao was in Soviet Russia, Jesus, I can only imagine how fucking much more terrible that would be. But how Stalin, if he so much is sensed, if he so much has got a thought in his head that you weren't 100% with them, he would either kill your ass, he would either banish your ass, exile your ass, or just straight up toss you into what is a work camp, a fucking work camp, where you could either join the 1.8 million people that were worked to death, or the 8 million people that passed through and received unyielding fucking trauma from that. So, I'll tell you it right now, you are not oppressed. Shut the fuck up. Me making jokes about trans people is being way more inclusive than treating them as these sensitive creatures that I'm not allowed to speak negatively about. Because even if I'm not a fan of trans people. Their existence is insulting to me. But even then, trans people want equality, which is more than justified. Everyone deserves equality. But at the same time, true equality is being treated like everyone else in the group. True equality is having the right to go into the same restaurant as your close friend, even if he's Asian and you're black. True equality is being able to use the same water fountain as someone else. True equality is getting treated the exact same like everyone else, completely disregarding what you are and instead focusing on who you are as a person. That is equality, and that is great. And what flies in the face of trans people wanting equality is not all of them, but the extremely loud, extremely obnoxious vocal minority that refuses to shut the fuck up. Like, these niggas just yammer and yammer and yammer. They scream and bitch about everything just so they can victimize themselves. They're more obnoxious than BLM people on Twitter. But the extremely loud vocal minority desperately trying to have someone's career stolen from them, eviscerated, left in the air, just eradicated, because they so much as made a joke about trans people. Where's the logic there? You want to be treated the same as everyone else, which is more than justified. I will treat you the same as everyone else, even if I don't like your existence. I will treat you with respect and courtesy. I will treat you like a normal person because that's the kind of guy I am. I don't like being a dick to people unless they're a dick to me. But by the logic you're using, you're essentially telling me that you don't want equality. You want special privileges. You want to be treated better than everyone else. And I'm just gonna put out in the air. No, I will not do that. The same way I think a trans woman has every right to make jokes about straight dudes. I have no right to tell her she's not allowed to do that. She has every right to shit talk and make fun of straight dudes. Every right. She has the right to make fun of how horny we are, how desperate we are, how we often go on fucking school shootings. She has the right to make as many jokes about that as she wants. However, when the time comes for me to make a joke about how trans people fucking kill themselves because they're mentally ill, oh wait, no, you can't do that. You're punching down. There's no such thing as punching down. Like I said before, comedy is subjective. Everyone gets a turn. You don't get special privileges just because your group has been treated like shit. I'm sorry. I'm not going to treat you better than other people just because you're a sensitive little pussy. No. And you can see this in more than just the trans community. You can see this in a lot of places. You're not allowed to make jokes about women. You're not allowed, if you're a man, you're not allowed to make jokes about women because you're a misogynist. You're a chauvinist. You're not allowed to make jokes about gays if you're straight because you're oppressing them. You're being homophobic. You're not allowed to make jokes about other races if you're white, even though other races have the ability to shit talk white people as much as possible. And I'm not saying that you don't have the right to make fun of other people, but you don't have the right to do something and then bitch when other people do that exact thing to you as well. Take a fucking joke, is all I can say. I make racist jokes about white women on a daily basis. Every time I hear about a dog being molested or someone killing themselves, I make a joke about white women, because killing yourself and molesting your dog is some white women activity. However, you wouldn't see me getting angry if I saw a white woman making a joke about black guys stealing and killing people, because it's a joke. It is not meant to be taken seriously. It is something made to shock you and or make you laugh. I would not care, because I'm not a crybaby bitch that constantly looks for shit to be offended by. And I have to tell that to the overwhelming majority of people that try to say there are some things you can't joke about, because I think that's fucking stupid. As I've said 1,000 goddamn times, as many people have said 1,000 goddamn times, comedy is subjective. True equality cannot be reached until you treat everyone the exact same. If God himself, also known as the main man and creator of existence, isn't exempt from my comedy, what the hell makes you think you're exempt from my comedy? You don't get to tell me what I can and can't make jokes about. You don't get to claim, you don't get to say stupid bullshit like punching down. You can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes. Punching down and punching up. That's fucking stupid. And one thing I commonly see, there's this stupid fucking analogy from this fucking dipshit. I can't remember his name. It was on Tumblr or something, because people with common sense don't use Tumblr. But apparently it's like, I forgot the exact phrase. Someone correct me in the comics. Someone correct me in the comments. It went something like this: gallows humor is for people in the gallows. If you make a joke at their expense, you're not you're kicking the stool out from under them. Some stupid fucking phrase like that. And I'm just here to say, get the fuck over yourself. You don't get to tell me what I can make fun of or what I can make jokes about. You don't get to monitor what I say. You don't get to decide which communities I make jokes about, because I consider myself an equal opportunity offender. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Arab, Hispanic, Native American, man, woman, transvestite, human, cat, extra-dimensional entity lying at the center of the universe. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you are. You get a taste of my comedy, because everyone gets a turn, and I think that's important. If you want to see who's in charge, see who you're allowed to make jokes about. Just take a look at that, because you constantly hear trans people, not all of them, just the Twitter level trans people, the Twitter and Tumblr-tard trans people. You constantly hear them complaining about how oppressed they are. But you look at society as a whole, specifically Western society, and see how it is catered to them. You see how people lose their shit and start bitching whenever someone questions their existence, whenever someone challenges their beliefs, or, as I mentioned before, someone makes a joke about them. They have the ability to ruin people's careers and desperately try to eradicate their lives, because they're so goddamn insecure about themselves that they feel the need to silence and deplatform and punish anybody that steps outside of the boundaries that they set up for apparently who's allowed to... Sorry, that's Elmer. Say hello, Elmer. Let him speak his piece. Elmer, what do you have to say about people keeping people like me from making jokes about specific groups? Come on, Elmer, the audience is waiting. You gotta answer, bro. So, Elmer, what do you think? He's deep in thought at the moment. Okay, well, Elmer ponders the answer to that question. I'll get back to what I was saying, even if I did kind of lose the track. I completely forgot where I was. Thanks, Elmer. Damn, man, you just completely slaughtered you slaughtered the train. You slaughtered the train of thought I was on, man. What the hell, Elmer? Come on, man, that's not right. What do you have to say for yourself? Cats nowadays, man. But as I'm pretty sure I was saying before, you have people that desperately try to ruin the lives of others. People that have gotten people fired from their jobs because they made jokes that hurt their precious little feelings. And they have the fucking nerve, the gall, the audacity, the guts to try and claim they're oppressed. The oppressed don't get to overpower their oppressors. I'm sorry, that's not how that works. If you were oppressed, you'd be in a concentration camp or a work camp or be living through segregation. Being oppressed doesn't mean that... Being oppressed isn't getting made fun of by other people. Get the fuck over yourself. It's just obnoxious to see so many people desperately looking to be a victim and trying to victimize themselves out of people making jokes. Like the whole Dave Chappelle controversy from like 2 years ago. Jesus, time moves by fast. And people constantly bitching about him, saying he's transphobic or some retarded shit. Screaming about him making fun of trans people, when in reality, he probably respects them a hell of a lot more than the fucking... than the dipshits that soft shoe and dance for you to try and preserve your pathetic fucking feelings and insignificant goddamn emotions. Someone who has the balls to treat you the exact same as everyone else is more of an ally to you than the people that don't want anyone to challenge your beliefs whatsoever. I don't like the idea of someone having the power to keep people from joking, to make this soft-ass, unfunny goddamn comedy. They want to make comedy inoffensive, and that just does not work. A good joke pisses off someone. If your comedy doesn't piss off at least 3 people, you're not fucking funny. I'm funny because I take the time to make fun of everyone. I may be a conservative, but every time I make fun of liberals, I throw in a jab at conservatives too. Everyone gets a turn. Everyone deserves to be made fun of. There are no exceptions, even God himself. But this soft ass, sensitive, goddamn, this inoffensive comedy from people like Hannah Gatsby, which isn't even really inoffensive, it's just unfunny, because in an effort to try and avoid punching down or some dumb shit, all she does is make fun of the groups of people that you're allowed to make fun of. White people, straight people, men, able-bodied people, white able-bodied straight men. Just the groups of people that society at large has for some reason deemed is okay to just bully and shit talk and make fun of relentlessly, which I'm all for. Everyone deserves to be made fun of, but at the same time, you don't get to pick an arbitrary, asinine group of people and claim it's okay to shit talk them, but you step outside that line, you start fucking complaining. That's annoying to me. I don't fucking like that. As I said before, you don't have the right to keep me from joking about anything. Any subject people claim you shouldn't joke about, it isn't hard to refute that argument. I've had people tell me you shouldn't joke about rape or domestic violence, and I'm just here to say, why not? I'm not joking about the victims, I'm joking about the circumstances. And even then, there is a hell of a lot worse than that. I make jokes about human extinction on a daily basis, and if you ask me, and any rational person, I'm pretty goddamn sure human extinction is a hell of a lot worse than some random bitch getting beat up by her husband, or some chick getting raped in an alley, don't you think? So, by your logic, since human extinction is significantly less worse than rape and domestic violence, I shouldn't make jokes about human extinction either, right? But that also means I shouldn't make jokes about death at all, because death is a lot worse than rape and domestic violence. At least with rape and domestic violence, you can get on with your life and heal from the scars of the trauma you underwent. With death, lights out, homie. There might be an afterlife, but if not, you're just gone. You are sentenced to an eternity of a succession of non-existence. You're out. Lights out, buddy. You are gone. You're just floating through the void. You're in the air now. So I can't joke about people dying either? I can't joke about World War I or World War II or the Vietnam War. A lot of people died in those, and those are a lot worse than some chick getting raped or some chick getting lumped up by her husband. So where's the line is what I'm asking. Where is this arbitrary line in the sand you drew to justify being a little bitch and complaining about shit? It makes no sense whatsoever. But because this video was nearing 20 minutes, wasn't paying attention to the time, I just started speaking my mind, which is the point of this series. My point, summarized, so you don't have to watch this entire video in case you just won't understand what I mean. Comedy is subjective. Everyone gets a turn. No one is exempt. It doesn't matter who you are or what you will be made fun of. You do not get a free pass just because your people have been through shit. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. But at the end of the day, the fact that I have the balls to treat you the exact same as all other groups of people and make fun of you the exact same way I make fun of all other groups of people makes me a better ally than the pussies that are too afraid to hurt your fragile goddamn feelings. Don't tell me what to joke about. Anything and everything is on the table when it comes to comedy, because a good comedian can make anything funny. George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Bill Burr, some of the best comedians of our generation and of all time. And they were able to take the most morbid shit around and make good comedy out of it.